Hey JK and Pristine, how you doing? Just a couple more seconds here and I'll be complete. Okay, let's take a look at the price of silver today. I haven't seen it actually. I've been kind of ignoring it. Oops, that didn't work out well. Markets are closed, obviously, being a weekend, but as of Friday, what was it, 4 o'clock ish? 24.75 for an ounce of silver, and we're looking at right around 18.90 for an ounce of gold. So for you folks who have $1,890 lying around, you can have yourself a nice ounce of gold. See who else is here. Open this window up a little bit. God, I'm feeling a little lethargic today. Close this down. So really nothing too much to report. You know, the news is what the news is. It's going to tell us all kinds of certain things. There's a few YouTube channels out there that are giving us hope that Trump has secret information and has been planning this all along, and that any minute now the Kraken is going to be released and the world will go back to normal. At first I was starting to believe that, you know, all this wishful thinking, but as the days go by, I'm not seeing any Kraken being released, you know, Cindy Powell. I'm not seeing any of that taking place. Let's change the angle of this camera real quick. There we go. That should not, you know, I'm not seeing any devastating arrest or any devastating evidence. And by the way, you know, they're always asking for proof of election fraud, but I want you to know evidence and proof are two different things. They truly are. Evidence is just evidence. And undeniable evidence is proof. Now, obviously, we need to get the information. We need to get it into the proper hands so they can do the investigation. But let's not be confused between those two terms, evidence and proof. The news is constantly asking for evidence. And then all of a sudden they want proof, and then evidence, then proof. I think they want evidence to get ahead of the story. They want proof to get ahead of the proof so they can start constructing stories and alimonies. Not alimonies, what's the word I'm looking for? Alibis. Alimonies. I just had a Biden moment. And that's what they do. They want you to hurry up. No, don't give your evidence and proof to the proper law enforcement channels. Don't go to the courts. Give it to the news first. And that way they can create an alibi, a counteracting, a counter story to that piece of evidence or proof. So it's very important that we just don't listen to the news at all. It's obvious that they are part of the mechanism that is driving us towards socialism and communism. So let me put on my old man glasses. I hope the audio is coming in loud and clear. JK Pioneer and Pristine, JD Stacker, Law and Order Prepper. What's up? Mr. Glock. Thank you so much, Dreams. Did you guys see, speaking of, I was just thinking about something. You guys see my last? I just got a new smoker grill, and I just set it up. You know, if you take a look, remember the videos where I had my cabin in the mountains, and I was doing I was smoking ribs and whatnot, and it was an offset contraption. It was like the big barrel with the offset firebox. It was a pain in the butt to use. You had to stay with the meat, stay with that grill for the entire duration of the cook. You know, yeah, and the temperature was so wildly inaccurate and fluctuating. That was the worst thing, actually. Barbecue with fluctuating heat. Am I saying that right? Like I said, I'm a little out of it right now. So you would have to sit there and babysit, make sure the right amount of charcoal was in there and the right amount of wood was in there. So I went and I got a pellet. It automatically feeds wood in the same fashion, but with electric auger, and it's just amazing. You get the full smoky flavor. So anyway, nonetheless, I put out a video. I hope you go check it out. There's gonna be a few more of those videos coming forward with me showing how to smoke meat and recipes and all that, and just to give a little, I don't know, diversity in my channel. Government's always saying we need to be diverse. So I'm going to throw down some barbecue videos. Something's bothering me about what I'm looking at. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Little Iron Man. Anyway, let me get back to saying good morning to everybody, or by now, good afternoon. By the way, if you could, give me a thumbs up. I really would appreciate it. Who else? JW. Let's get some Digibyte talk going. Yeah. So as far as Digibyte, what is the price of Digibyte? Let's take a look. CoinMarket.cat. So as we speak, Bitcoin's just under 16,000. It's around. It's at 15,864. Litecoin is dancing right around $62 an ounce, $63 an ounce. I'm working down to the Digibyte, but my favorites are Digibyte and Theta. Digibyte's still sitting. I'm sorry, Theta's still sitting at that 60 cent range. You know, it's fluctuating a penny here and there, so it's kind of stagnant actually. Like silver, I wish it would collapse so I can buy more. Digibyte, let's talk about some Digibyte. Oh, wonderful. Digibyte is down to 1.8 cents. That's 1 penny, just close to 2 pennies. I'm sorry, 1.8 cents. Great time to buy. It's been floating around at 2 cents, 2.2, 2.3. So it's a great time to buy some Digibytes. And if you guys are tired of your Digibyte, you can send them to me. But anyway, this sucker right here, they say, although you can get it right now for 1.8 cents, they say sometime in the very near future, I'm talking just a couple of years from now, they say you won't be able to touch that for $9. $9 they're expecting that to go up to, give or take, obviously. Speculators are never 100% right, but can you imagine, even if I was 100% wrong and it never got to $9, let's just say I messed it up, I gave you some wrong advice, and it only got up to $1. You got it just now at 1.8 cents, folks. I would love to make a mistake like that. I mean, in theory, you know, you're not going to go wrong. You're not going to go wrong. All right, so that got the JW out of my hair because he threatened if I don't talk about some Digibyte, he was going to come and beat the crap out of me. So thank God for that. JK Pioneer, JW, I'm just joking with you. JK Pioneer, thank you. Jaybird, do you really think 4 more years? I'll tell you something. As I mentioned when this live stream just started, I was listening to all the hopium. I was smoking that hopium, hoping that the counts, the people in these states would stand up for themselves and go and just freaking do what the Antifa folks have been doing. Do what the Black Lives Matter folks have been doing. The only difference is, I think, they're doing it to overthrow our country and cause chaos. But the people who actually voted for President Trump, their votes are being stolen. And they're just sitting back, not doing a damn thing. Not doing a damn thing. And I'll tell you what, when they lose this country, they're going to wonder why. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're not doing nothing. Not a thing. They're not going to the local government offices and getting in their face, kicking their door in, and telling them, you will not steal our country from us. They're just taking this like it's nothing to them. I don't know, got a lot of people that are laughing at me. Not here, obviously, but I do get the emails. Ha, 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 we won, we won. And I think that at first I was starting to get, angry with them. But then I think about how pathetic that was. You're winning, okay, possibly winning, but you don't care how you win. You don't care if the country is being stolen. You don't realize that you're just a tool, and pretty soon it will also be stolen from you. It is so funny. They don't see how evil that party is, even though they see the theft that's going on. They want to win at all means. And I'm not talking about the government now, the shadow government. I'm talking about the Democrats, the common people, the people in our neighborhoods. They don't care as long as they win. And it's sad that they don't think outside of that box. If that government that they're cheering for is willing to do this time, who's to say they're not willing to do it a second time to them? It is amazing. It truly is. They know not what they are doing. Lab 464, thank you. Watson Adventures, howdy. Don't forget to smash that like button by Law and Order Prepper. Thank you so much. I really would appreciate that. MZ in the house. I'm doing fine. I'm a little I'm sorry, Jaybird. He's asking how I'm doing. I'm just a little tired today. I didn't sleep too well. The missus got out of the hospital and blah, 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 blah. And, I'm just trying to do the best to make sure she's comfortable, make sure she's being fed properly and that sort of thing. And I'm tired. I'm a little bit tired. Watson Adventures. I just pre-ordered the 2020 Libertad. Am I saying that? Libertad on Atmex. Congratulations, Watson Adventures. Appreciate your time here. Street Dreams. Thank you so much. And MD, thank you so much. Jimmy Lacari, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. I am. I'm doing well. I'm just waiting on the news. Not necessarily waiting on the news. It's kind of like a chess game. I don't believe the news. There's only a few news outlets I believe. But as far as the mainstream media, your ABC, NBC, MSNBC, your CNNs, and your Fox News, with the exception of about 4 anchors, I don't believe them all. But I'm waiting. You still got to pay attention to your enemy, so to speak. You got to see what their next move is. So I'm waiting on any new news and just hoping that a lot of the other conservative YouTube channels know something I don't. They all seem to believe that Trump had this secret plan a year out. There's one YouTube channel that says the real ballots had an isotope attached to them, and there was a watermark that was visually unseeable, and that Trump's got this all handled, and pretty soon the Kraken's going to be released. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what the heck the powers be, the good powers, are waiting on. I'm waiting for the Kraken to be released. I'm waiting for this big plan, for 4 years now. And I'm frustrated because I too feel I've been falling for this. For 4 years now, I've been hearing from all the liberal sites, both YouTube and out yonder, that Trump's got this and the QAnon and the arrest is going to happen. For 4 effing years now, I've been hearing that the arrests are going to happen. And now again, we're hearing this glimmer of hope that Trump has a plan. He's implemented it. He put special isotopes on all the, and you can see them from satellites where all the ballots are. I'm starting to lose faith. I truly am. And I hope if there was a plan, it's time. It's time. It truly is time. Otherwise, pretty soon, this country will be nothing like what we are accustomed to. They're already talking about shutting. It's amazing. As soon as the election's over, all of a sudden the spikes in coronavirus. It's like nonstop out there. I'm pointing to my television. It's nonstop, no matter what channel. Corona is spiking. Hospitals overwhelmed. Oh my God. You're going to die. We're going to have to close down everything. All the restaurants got to close down. You can't have more than 10 people in your house. Oh my God. It's that same effing fear factor that we were assaulted with back in January, leading all the way up. Now, all of a sudden, we have an election, and they're trying to build us up psychologically for the shutdown. They already see Biden getting in the White House, and they're just trying to prepare people for it and scare them into accepting the shutdowns, shutting you down economically, shutting your job down, while never shutting down the debt collectors. They shut you down, and you'll see after a few months your car being towed away, kicked out of your own home. I see that. The banks are just salivating, waiting to. Your homes are half paid off, 3/4 paid off. They're salivating to take them, steal them from you, so they can sell them all over again and make the same money on it all over again. And while they're keeping your money, your cars, the same thing with your cars. I'm just amazed. And people are just smiling. Okay, we're going to get cured. We're going to get cured from the corona. And all we need to do is shut down. They say 4 to 6 weeks like they did before, and it turned out to be almost a year. So I believe them again. 4 to 6 weeks. We just got to do it. And they're going to keep their word yet again. The people, the sheep. I know you're not falling for it, but the sheep are. All over again. They were promised back in January, February. Hey, we just need to close down for like 4 to 6 weeks, and it'll be over. And here we are, almost a year over. And they're going to believe the government again. It's amazing. And I think they're trying to purposely ruin the economy so they can really tax the shit out of the people who are lucky enough to have a job. And it's almost like a drug dealer mentality. If they can get the people to rely on the government, they will be addicted to the government. There's so much at play here. There's so much going on. It's a shame. But I do believe that's how the government works. They work just like a drug dealer. They give you a couple of free samples until you're hooked. Again, metaphorically. Jason Lee, Guitar Instruments, thank you. From Pittsburgh. What are you cooking today on your smoker? I'm not. I'm going to take a break on the smoker, but I think tonight I'm going to pull out a pork loin. A pork tenderloin, that is. And I will smoke that tomorrow. I'll probably make a video. And with the barbecue videos, they're a little bit more video editing demanding. So what I have to do is, because there's so many segments within a barbecue, that I have to stitch them together, cut, paste, the whole video editing thing. So I won't be posting them. Normally I will not be posting one of those types of videos on the same day I record it, because I'll need a couple of days to stitch everything together. I did a chicken wing, and I did what was it? I just did chicken wings, smoked chicken wings on it, and I'm still working on the video. And that video was shot 2 days ago. So it's labor intensive is what I'm saying. All those words and I said nothing really, right? It's labor intensive. Law and Order Prepper, thank you again. Sergeant Gold, greetings and salutations. Thank you so much, Sergeant Gold. Can't wait till you get promoted to captain, though, Look up the 12th Amendment. Will come into play soon. I will look that up and look into it a little more closer. D.B. Cooper is in the house. The Little Muddy Farm, Robert Jones. Thank you. Just got back from Stop the Steal rally in Virginia Capitol. Not as many as last week, but a lot went to D.C., and all the instigators were last week probably up there too. See, my problem is these rallies, these good rallies, they go and stand in front of Washington, D.C. Their voices are being dumped on empty ears. The people in those buildings do not care. They're the shadow government. It's like me going to preach to the devil. Please stop it. It's not going to happen until these rallies turn against their own local governments. That's what needs to be done. It's not D.C. that's the problem at this point with the elections. The problem is locally. They need to go to their governor's home. They need to go to the governor's building. They need to rip these people out by the collar who hired lawyers to change laws, election laws, literally days before the election, behind the voting tax people's back. The problem is, really, government doesn't fear the people anymore. There's no repercussions. Oh, those stupid conservatives, they will never riot. They'll never do anything to defend themselves. They're too peaceful. They're too busy earning a living, going to work. Now, they fear the other side for all the opposite reasons. Those motherfuckers, excuse my language, will riot and burn your damn place down. And they got the time to do it because a lot of them are unemployed. I apologize about my foul language. I really am. But and you wonder why they want your guns. This is what they're doing to you while you're armed. Pretty much telling you they're doing it. Can you imagine once they get your guns? I say this and I'll say it again. Slavery never ended. It has been perfected. And the perfection is still going on. Pretty soon, I guarantee you, we will all be slaves. Mark my words. I mean, what ratio of taxes need to come out of your paycheck before you realize you are a slave? God only asked for 10% tithings. Currently, most Americans, just out of their payroll, not counting all the taxes that they pay after they get the paycheck, just out of the payroll is approximately 30%. Once they get the paycheck, they still continue to pay taxes with that. What will it take for people to wake up and say, I'm a slave? What would it be 50% taxes come out of your payroll? Maybe 70% taxes, and you're allowed to left over 30%. I don't know when the people are going to be waking up. JD Stacker, missed those cabin videos when it was snowing. Yeah, I remember those. I love the snow. I miss my cabin too. I miss it. Dutch Silver. Hello, good day from Holland. Light your grill. Would love to see more. And you're going to see more. Again, I used to smoke all kinds of meats, and I just got frustrated with babysitting that damn grill. It was an offset firebox, and you had to just stay there. And that's a waste of a day. This, put the meat in, turn the freaking temperature to where I want, and I can go to sleep all night long if I choose to. I can go away if I wanted for the day. Nice to the face. Nice to the face. Barbecue beer freedom. Absolutely. Mitchell Melanu. Oh boy, I know I messed that last name. Good luck, everyone. The next couple of years are going to be very hard, no matter how much silver you have. I agree. They're going to be difficult depending on who gets in that house, depending on who the president is. Just buy dot. Everybody's telling me to buy something. I'm hearing a lot about dot, though. Like I said, wife, I'm taking care of the wife now, so my buying silver and buying cryptos for now has come to a pause. Dutch silver, Ethereum is going to go to the moon. That's what I've been hearing. What your best Marvel cards do you have? I don't have any Marvel cards. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Got some crypto lingo in there. Hopium. I like it. I actually got that. I stole that from another YouTube channel. JSnip4, I'll be honest with you. He made up that word hopium. I saw a video he put out. Shoot, it had to be 4 years ago, 5 years ago, about people hoping. And he was warning people not to hope, not to smoke the hopium too much. So I stole it from him. I gotta give due where it's to whom deserves it. I didn't make that up. The best thing and everything you need to know is our side will pick up our trash when we leave. Okay? Alon Zoe, all government is BS and have allowed this CVD propaganda to happen. Both are two sides of the same coin. Engineered. I don't believe Trump was part of the government. Otherwise, the news wouldn't have hounded him for 4 years. If he was part of their plan, I'm willing to go with you that both the left and right paradigm are the same and are pretty much on the same side. I'm willing to go with that. No matter who you vote for, you get crap. Trump was different. He truly was. And if he was part of their plan, they would not have attacked him from all sides, including the news media outlets. Government officials, other shadow governments would not have come out and fought against him. There was too much of an attack upon him for him to be part of their plan. Trust me in that. The people, oh Lord, Matt Jenga, they aren't stealing our country. It was never ours to begin with. It was ours, and I believe it is still ours. I mean, they're stealing it. Don't get me wrong, but that country's ours to take back. All we need to do is just be freaking patriots and take it back. Christopher Cortez, the people laugh like they won a game, meaning the elections. They won't be laughing in week 4 into a lockdown. No, they won't. But a lot of them who are laughing, they're unemployed anyway. They really have no skin in the game. I'm sorry to say that. A lot of these people, all your welfare recipients and everything, they don't give a shit. They got nothing, no skin in the game. To beat Antifa is my hobby, and I love it. Light Hawk. Still have hope. Electoral College still has to vote. But see, the Electoral College normally votes based on the poll count outcome. See? So I don't think they're going to go against their own local poll counts. But who knows? There are miracles. Rome Bear in the house, Jeannie Shire. I hope I pronounced that right. Most of them just want a handout, and I agree with you. And have no skin in the game. So when you're gonna tell somebody who hasn't had a job for 5 years because they've just been too lazy that we're gonna shut down the economy, they just laugh. Oh well. Lord Humongous, thank you. Overtax, do you see my comments? It's all a game, the grand chessboard. Okay. JP Morgan is president. Okay, I saw that one. The news is 100% propaganda. We all know that. They mess with your mind and then they stealing that too. Okay, I see your comments. I'm just not falling for I'm just not going to fall for Trump was part of their plan. Trump is part of the shadow government. There's no way they would get Trump in and then attack him like that. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. So thank you, Lord Humongous. Appreciate that. I live in Georgia and I'm mad. I vote for Trump, just not right. No, it's not, Jeannie. And I'm hoping that the people of Georgia get mad. And not just mad, and they need to get out in the streets and scare these people, these bureaucrats. They need to physically scare these people, these bureaucrats who have stolen this election. No, what they'll do is they'll just accept the outcome and they'll move along. There will be no looting. There will be no burning. There'll be no rioting from the conservatives. They'll just take it, and pretty soon they won't have a country. Jay Wild Music. You can't even lie. Putin is good looking. Okay, whatever. What a comment. Putin is good looking. That's your comment? Okay. Spectacular. To whom the bell tolls. Corey Willett. The rich stick with the rich. One big soap opera. We all getting played. PayPal's a scam. I just did a video on this subject. Okay. Trump for life or cabal for death. Alex Crypto. Hey, Overtax. I'm in Texas now for a deployment doing Southwest border mission. I caught a Mexican yesterday. He got arrested. You made me laugh. I was feeling kind of on the downside, but you made me laugh. I find it funny. All these people I'm deployed with talk about their things they have in debt. And here I am buying gold and silver and holding my Bitcoin. That's awesome. Thank you, Alex Crypto. Making me laugh. PayPal Crypto, not PayPal. Yeah, I mean, it's all. Yeah, I'm not doing that PayPal crypto. Someone told me to get some, but I find that you can only use it on PayPal transactions. You cannot transfer it out. It's and that might have been you, Silver Game of Thrones, I was speaking to about this. I'm not sure. I speak to so many people, it starts to blur. Doug Ford also got to snag some dated barber halves. That's awesome. Maynard Wellman in the house. I'm always late to the party. Trump will find a way. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I really do. You need more information to rent a hotel room than to vote. None of your business. You're correct on that. You know, outlawing the necessity for ID when you vote. Yet the same bureaucrats demand ID when you buy a beer, demand ID when you buy a cigarette. No ID needed when you vote, folks. No ID needed. Matter of fact, you don't even need to sign your ballot. Just put a black dot down. No ID needed. No signature needed. No proof of residence needed. Good point. None of your business. Thank you. Silver Cobra. Some people are just crazy. Yep. J.A. Wild Music. He's from California, and he is a conservative. That's awesome. Out to blind, don't know history. No, Biden was letting China steal. I think if you look at this just from a visual standpoint, when you go to grocery shopping, 99.999 people are wearing masks. Just from a visual, an optic standpoint, it looks like China took over our country. I kid you not. And then you hear about all these dealings between the Bidens and between other bureaucrats and China. Did they, in fact, sell our country? I feel like I live in China. I do not wear a mask when I go shopping. And people will do a double take. They'll be looking at, they'll be like, here's the grocery shelf. They're looking at their little whatever on the shelf. They'll look down the aisle and they'll see me and they'll do a double take. And they'll kind of move out of my way a little bit. You know, it's like like an uncovered face is alien to them now. I literally have seen that. I went shopping yesterday. And they'll do like one of these numbers and look back down the aisle at me. It's sad. I feel like a stranger in my own country. A stranger in my own country. Hi-O Silver, what kind of smoker do you have overtaxed? They're all arrogant, too arrogant to be afraid. So I have the Pit Boss. I got the new Pit Boss that was just released, the 1150. It was just released mere weeks ago. It's kind of like a Traeger. It's in that type of smoker. Grill. Illegal aliens voting by the thousands in Arizona. Hell yeah. No ID needed, folks. I'm up to 800 plus theta. Congratulations, like Hawk. You're going to have some money pretty soon. You truly will. Just hold on to it for a year or so, okay? Forget you own it. Neo Gaming, Bitcoin. Wish I hadn't sold my Bitcoin. Most of the people who voted for those two absolutely have no idea who even voted for. Nope, they sure don't. But they're going to learn. They're going to learn. They're going to learn. Dutch Silver, thank you. Personally can't touch Bitcoin. Too rich for my poor wallet. Well, the thing about it is you don't have to buy a full one. You can buy $10, $20 and still enjoy every time Bitcoin goes up higher. Do you go out of your way to breathe on them? No. No, because these bastards nowadays will call the cops saying you, and then you'll get arrested for a freaking attempted murder. I kid you not. That's what this world's coming from. That these creeps will have no, yeah. Neo gaming, I'm averaging into Ethereum now. Nurse said that mask didn't help anyway. I voted for Trump. Gary Hughes, JK Pioneer. I use the good old offset smoker, no bells, whistles, and smokes meats just perfect. I have not been able to master it because I find that the heat just fluctuates. See, heat is smoking is in a certain temperature range. What is it? It's in a very low temperature, 145 to what? 175 is that smoking range. And then the hotter it gets, you're no longer smoking. So I would set my offset smoker and I would get the temperature just right with all the logs and everything, the charcoal and whatever I'm putting in there, and be perfect. And then 30 seconds later, it's 450 degrees. There's no way to, I could never master the temperature of those things. So I got to do what I got to do. I got something I can, that's stupid proof. Half an ounce of gold Australian pig coin by Lucky Luke, 1232. That's a nice coin. Half ounce, wow. I think about it. If you can smell a fart through your mask, you need to get tested. You need to get tested. No, if you can smell a fart through your mask, the mask is not protecting you against COVID. I don't know. Trump is president. Okay, Alex, he is the president until January. Hopefully he gets things turned around. Hio Silver bought a Traeger last year. See, the Traegers are nice, but the thing is you get half the grill for twice the price. And now, in my opinion, so maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, the Traeger grills were better. But now companies are just copying each other. So I can guarantee you the Pit Boss I got just a couple of days ago, which was just released a couple of weeks ago, I guarantee you it's got the same technology and everything the Traegers have. And they're all just copying each other's product. And then after a while, you got a homogenized product with just a different name brand, and then it becomes just about marketing, which product is more expensive. And it's not just grills, it's everything. Okay, it's cars, it's everything. You know, at first, when something is put out, it is independent, it is set aside. But once it's in the community enough, it's copied. The technology is. Yeah, they're going to burn the Constitution, Jeannie. I hope if I'm Jeannie, I think that's how you pronounce her name, and Shire. I hope I'm not messing that name up. If I am, it is not intentional. Frustrated majority. I can only bring myself to invest in physical commodities. And that's cool. DD Prepper, mask off, mask off, mask off. Do not obey the government says. Be free, think for yourselves. It's scary. I mean, when I start to get a little freaking stressed out when I go grocery shopping. Because I know I'm just a fighter. And I just know I'm not going to wear my mask. And I know my own, I know my limitations to anger. And I just get nervous. And I get a little stressed out now when I go shopping. And I always ask myself, is this the day I'm going to get into a physical altercation with somebody? And I just don't want to do that. But I just know Me, I don't know when to back down sometimes and shut my mouth. But I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm just freaking not going to do it. I'll do it at work because I need the job. But once I'm in my own office, that mask comes off. So I did take some pictures, some images of cutting up that meat, but I can't find them for the life of me. I have 3 recording devices, and I swear I took a picture on one of the 3, and I looked on them, and I can't find the pictures. So I made that first video without me showing cutting the ribs. But the ribs were good. They were good. I love a sweet but yet spicy profile, and they were good. It had the sauce on them turned almost very gummy. It was really good. Neil Gaiman, okay, thank you so much for being in the house. And headbutts, yeah. Ben Graham, what up? Olaf Nelson, good evening from Sweden. Good evening. That is so cool, by the way. So far, I had one hello from Australia, Sweden. Where else? There was a third one. And that's just mind-blowing to me. By the way, speaking of mind-blowing, they're now starting to censor text messages. Okay? So I don't normally... So what I'm hearing, go see Jay Snip4's last video. As of this moment, was his last video. So it's going to be his newest video. And he talks about they're censoring text messages from your phones. Now, they have algorithms where if you even send a link to something political, a lot of times the party you're sending it to does not get the link. The link is stripped. It's pretty scary. Pretty scary. Dennis Bates, Trump has attempted to weaponize the government to go after his enemies. That is not what Democrats do. That is what 2-bit dictators do. By Dennis Bates. There is a low information voter right there. Low information voter like the Democrats didn't weaponize COVID-19. Like the Democrats didn't weaponize BLM. Like the Democrats didn't weaponize Antifa. No. The Democrats are all good. Dennis Bates in the house. Idiot of the day. And go ahead and unsubscribe. Idiot of the day. Everybody give an applause to Dennis Bates, who's probably in his garage now with the first name of Master. Everybody say hello to Master Bates in his garage, in his mommy's garage. Low information voter. No skin in the game. Big Rouge. Pit Boss smokers are another item made in China. Hey, everything's made in China, my friend. Everything. I hate to tell you, the Traegers are now made in China. Big K Rouge, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thor Bradshaw, I feel the same way about mask OT, but if we comply, it will never stop. Just annoying. If we comply, then it's always something else they'll want on top of that. If we all comply with the mask, pretty soon we'll be mandated to have a shield on top of the mask. Pretty soon in the parking lots, we'll be mandated to park 6 feet from one another. Pretty soon your neighbors will be calling the police saying, I think overtaxed taxpayer, his house is right next door. I think he has more than 10 people in his house. You guys better come and check it out. That's the route, and expect it. Brandon Summer, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Doug Master, happy Saturday. Big Chief, good afternoon, brother. Thank you so much, folks, for being here on your Saturday. Who else? Ben Granham, thank you. Lucky Luke in the house. That's a nice name. Lucky Luke. I like that. I don't know why. Dutch Silver, sucks to be Dennis. Maybe ignorance is bliss. Maybe it is. Remember that part of the Matrix where he's sitting, that one dude, that bad dude with the goatee in the Matrix, the original Matrix, and is he eating the steak, and with the other hand he's got a wine. I know this is not real. I forgot what he says. I know this is not real, but ignorance is bliss. And he's drinking his freaking wine while he's making a deal with the those robotic dudes or whatever they call them. Philip McCurdy, thank you so much for being here. Overtax from New York. We love telling us. I'm sorry, I apologize. Overtax from New York. They love telling us what to do over here. Can't stand this, of course. Mommy, they're making fun of me. Alex, crypto. Once China pulls the rug out from the USD with the digital currency, we might be in trouble. Brandon Sumner. I feel like I got a jacket on my back. Be on Democrats' list. Yeah, speaking of weaponized, remember all the Democrats coming out saying they want a list of all Republican supporters and that they should never be able to get a job again? That's not weaponizing, is it? No, the Democrats didn't do that, did they? No, it wasn't the Democrats that did that. They want a list of all Republican supporters so that they may never be hired, never can work again. They want to destroy. That's not weaponization. Thank you, though. Head plant. I feel like saying something stupid just to be trolled by Overtax. So head plant and everybody else. I want you to know something. Normally, I don't do that to people because there are Democrats here and they make sensible comments. And those comments I respect, even though they're different from my own opinions. You'll never see me do that. But a comment like that, come on. So if there is a Democrat here who has a different opinion than myself, I will never do that to you. Feel free as long as you can talk like an adult. You know what I mean? Okay, Dennis Bates. I said democracies, not Democrats. I don't know the difference. And if I mistakenly misunderstood you, Dennis, you have my apologies, sincerely. You have my, the way your comment came across, I'm not seeing it, my friend. The drunken prepper, this is how they change who can be president. One day, a non-American born person will be elected. I think that day has already come and passed, don't you? The drunken prepper? I think so. I'm going to go over that comment. I'm not going to even read it because it's a good one, but my site, Cyber, said that. That's right. Cyber said that. And he's talking to, what do they call those guys with the dark glasses? All Smokies made in the USA. Always try my best to buy USA. I do too. Big K, I don't know why I always call him Big K Rouge. K Big Rouge. I try also, but sometimes it's difficult. It really is. It's hard to buy American sometimes. What is your opinion on athletes like LeBron? I must have been ahead of my time, Alex Crypto, and look it up. 2 to 3 years ago, I made a video from the cabin in the mountains. It was snowing, and I was outside. And I said that was the last day I would ever watch football. Look it up. I think that, do a search. I think NFL was part of the title. I don't recall. And to this day, 3 years going by, I don't watch football anymore. I don't watch it. Don't turn on baseball. I can care less. I do love boxing, but I just don't watch sports anymore as a whole. I don't. The whole racetrack shit, I don't do it anymore. They screwed it up for me. I don't want to watch them. I don't want them to earn money from me in any way, shape, and form. I'm not going to support those sports channels. Again, I love boxing, though. I just love it. But that's you don't get to see very much boxing on television. I think athletes, JK Pioneer, you're right. Athletes need to stick to sports. We don't turn in and watch them and support them to make millions upon millions so they can tell us how freaking anti-American, how racist that we are. I don't need to hear that. The drunken prepper, find an openly non-American born person. Okay. Agents. That's right. They were called agents. So Cypher was negotiating with the agents how he's going to help to capture Morpheus. I think what it was. No, how he was going to, he was going to help capture Neo. Morpheus was already caught at the time. That's right. And that's what this political thing was. For you folks who are new, we were talking about ignorance is bliss. A lot of people do not know what's going on, and they prefer not to. And when you tell them what's going on politically, they either physically get violent because their brain goes haywire, don't know how to digest the information, and they just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It is sad, and so there was that episode in the original Matrix where Cypher was eating that steak dinner and washing it down with some nice expensive wine, and he says, "I know this steak is not real, but ignorance is bliss." And then you hear the harp going behind them. LeBron is Michael Obama. My site, Agent Smith was the main agent. That's right. Excuse me. We have been watching you for quite some time, Mr. Overtax, and Lord Humongous. I thank you for that. Who's we, though? I'm just curious. I'm just curious who we is. I really appreciate that, though. Democrats' true intentions of equality is all of us be equally poor and starving, just like Venezuela. I completely agree with that. Equality in itself is bad. The only time we are equal is when we come out of our mom's womb. What we do with our lives from there on is our own responsibility. To squander your life doing whatever, whether it be drugs or just pure laziness, and then blame it on the people who've made something out of their lives, and then you have the audacity, you have the power of the vote to vote in people who are going to tax those people who've made something out of their lives so you can feel good about your own. That's pretty sad. That is a pretty sad. My thing is, if you're on welfare, you should lose your right to vote. I'm sorry to say this. You would have asked me that question about a year ago. I would have said no. They have a right to vote. But more and more, the people on welfare, and I say welfare metaphorically, I'm talking about all kinds of government subsidies that are not earned. So therefore, Social Security does not, if you're collecting Social Security and you put into it, this is not you. You've earned it. Any subsidy that you're getting that you earned. And I have no problem. But more and more, the tipping point is being pressed upon. More and more people are getting food stamps and all kinds of subsidies that do not need it. More and more people who are able to work and can find a job choose not to do that. And more, the people who need help are not getting it because you got too many people who are receiving those funds when they don't deserve it. Jersey Gal in the house, thank you so much. Boxing MMA, we were just talking about boxing. I was saying how much I like boxing. Speaking of boxing, good fight on tonight. Bud Crawford versus Kell Brook. Is that on what channel? What channel is that's an ESPN bout? I watch sports for entertainment. I can give a damn about politics and sports. I ignore it. So I'm wondering how you were lied to, Dennis Bates. How were you lied to? You cannot support Trump because he lies to you? What lie did he give you? In comparison, has a Democrat ever lied to you, or have they just been angels? Mike Silverman, studying economics and the monetary system for the last 9 years, has left no time to watching sports. Woman Natty, not my job to police people's ideals. They are entitled to see different from me. Edgewater Heating, thank you so much. Equal opportunity should be a right, not an equal outcome. So, Stephen Parsons, I think you and I said the same thing. We're all born equal. We are. And what we do with our lives is the outcome. And if I put zero effort into my life and just squander it, is it my fault? Or is it the guy who now drives a BMW and he's worked his ass off, or her ass off? I can understand that. There was a period of time where I kind of blamed my parents. See, when I moved out of the house at a very young age. And I blamed my parents for a lot of my shortcomings. For quite some time, I blamed them. But there comes a point in time where you can't blame your parents anymore. You might be able to blame your parents for the first year. And okay, your life is the way it is because of their dictatorship. Because let's face it, normally your parents, it's a dictatorship. But when you're 40 and 50 years old now, and you lived on your own more than you lived with your parents, you can't blame your parents. No more than Obama can blame the last president because his economy kind of blew it in the water. And that's what's going to happen with Joe. You're going to see some massive degradation in the economy. You're going to see some increases in your taxes. Things are not going to look good at all. And I can guarantee you, people are going to start to immediately recognize this. And you want to know what the first excuse of the news media outlets are going to be? You want to know what the first excuse of the Democrat Party is going to be? Oh, this is just a leftover economy from the Trump era. You mark my words, that is what is going to be said. So saying that, again, the outcome, the equality, you got to blame yourself at some time. And it's not just society, because some people are making it in this society, in this system, while others ain't. Good comment, though. That was excellent. I like that. See, the problem is help is an addictive drug. Help is very addictive. People get accustomed to it. That's the problem. It's too much effort to go and do it themselves. This help that they keep injecting me with. Boy, I like it. Soyams, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I resent universal income. Exactly, me too. I think that's what you meant, Warman Addy. I think that's what you meant. Okay, so I don't have ESPN, unfortunately, but I could probably stream it somewhere. So Jeannie Shire makes a good point. Why have more babies when you don't work? I'm 50-something years old. I was born in the early 60s, pretty much raised in the 60s and 70s. And during that time, in school, they were teaching us how to be adults. There was an order to being an adult. There was an order and steps. You first graduate from high school, go to college, you then get a job, you make enough money to buy your first home, or maybe you get married and then buy your first home, and then you have children. That's no longer being taught. Now it's your body, your right. That is what is being taught in our schools. Your body, your right. But the thing is, people are literally believing that in every literal sense. It's your body, your right. And they're having babies at 15, 16 years old, therefore putting themselves out of the job market, therefore relying on other people who pay taxes. And this is fine. It's your body, your right. But see, we have to pay the ramifications for all these decisions. And then these people who have these kids who have children of their own say, oh, they're treated unequally. It's not an equal. It's not equal. It's not equal. I want equality. Edgewater, I don't think Trump is going to concede. I don't think you need to worry about that. I think we do need to worry about whether he's going to win or not. Soriams, I don't believe Trump's attacks had anything to do about Arizona going blue. And when Cindy McCain came out and talked in support of Joe Biden, I think her power has dwindled down. I don't really think that was it. Certainly it didn't do him any good, right? Because he got elected in his first election. If it was so detrimental, he would have not gotten elected in the very first election. So I don't think his talks on McCain had anything to do with his second election. What I think happened, and in a lot of the states that Trump lost, I think there was a cumulation of things going on at the same time. Software in the voting machines that were programmed to flip votes. the lack of ID responsibilities, stuff in the ballot boxes with fraudulent ballots. All these things, I think, was truly why Trump is losing, according to what we see on television, in my opinion. I think McCain, people don't give a damn. The people who vote for Trump voted for Trump. And I don't think there was any, you're not going to, there was so much more Democrats flipping for Trump than there was Trump voters flipping for Biden. Think about that. I don't believe there was hardly any Democrats, or I should say, I don't believe there was any Republicans flipping to be a Joe Biden voter. I don't believe it. But I heard tons and tons of people that were walking away from being a Democrat and voting for Trump. You have a lot of Latino, the Latin community, and a lot of blacks that were doing that. This is stolen fraudulently. American utilities are the next crisis. That's right. And when they raise the taxes, you're going to see utilities go through the roof. The drunken prepper, he loves my brutal honesty. I'm just a blunt guy. I turn a lot of people off in the real world by my bluntness, and at the same time, a lot of people like it. They know where they stand. Guy, AZ Bell, teach civics again. Yep. Rent moratoriums and mortgage moratoriums. But the thing is, the rent and mortgage moratoriums, they're normally due immediately as a bubble payment once the moratorium ends. That's the whole problem. There was rent moratoriums, but it stipulated that once the moratorium ended, you had to pay all your past balance in a balloon payment or get kicked out. The same thing goes for mortgage. A lot of companies, due to COVID, if you can prove you were affected by COVID, they will let you skip 3 months mortgage. Look this up. I'm not lying. But the part of the agreement is you pay, once the 4th month was up, you had to pay all 3 months at one time plus your 4th month mortgage. So you're paying 4 months mortgage. No one can do that. No one can do that. And they know it. The banks love it. They're salivating right now. They get to scoop up all these homes that were probably half paid off, 3/4 paid off, maybe a year left in their mortgage. They get to scoop them all up, dump them back on the market, and make the money all over again. There's no forgiveness. This shutdown that they're promising everybody, you're gonna see things going really bad. If I can just ask everybody a favor, I'm not going to ask you to buy me a beer or anything. I'm not asking to borrow your car keys. For you guys out there, I'm not asking to borrow your lawnmower out there. But if I can just get a thumbs up, I really would appreciate it. I really would. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Mike Burgundy. Leaders in Venezuela still get reelected even after the people are starving due to the government's socialist policies. It's like America's future. Absolutely. And do you really think those people are still voting for those politicians that are making them starving? I guarantee you not. I heard today the Dominion software, before it was implemented here, it was sold all around the world to those who wanted to alter their own elections in their own countries. This is what I heard of this morning. This software was written and then sold around the world to people who want to alter their own elections. We watched, the makers of this software, that is, watched and how effective it was around the world before they implemented it here. You think Dominion software just affects our country? It's affected so many other elections around this world. It'd make your head spin. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know this. Nancy Pelosi has investment stock in investment interest in this software. Oh, the connections keep growing. The Silver Eagle. I'm Spanish and voted for Trump. Thank you so much, the Silver Eagle. He's Spanish. You see what I mean? Even Latin people in the Latin community switch from being Democrat to Republican. I don't see that the other way around. I don't see any freaking Democrat saying, I'm sorry, I don't see any Republican saying, hey, I want to be a Democrat this time around. I never heard of it. No, I have not heard that rumor about voting machines in Germany. J.W. Barr is to blame. I had my doubts about him also when he came out against his last investigation. Said nothing was done illegally with the unmasking. My job is gone if there is another big lockdown. I'm in retail. Michael Witt. I hope it doesn't happen, my friend. I hope it doesn't happen. That's basically mandating everybody be laid off. But they don't mandate, again, I keep going back to it, they don't mandate that bill collectors got to stop or forgive the debt. No. Their jobs never get shut down. No. They continue on. Jessica Martinez, there will be another shutdown. There sure will be. I hate to say that after the last comment. That gentleman, Michael Witt, it's praying that he still has a job. The swinging Richard, I hope you're right. People need to wake up. And the government needs to go back to fearing the people. It's amazing how politicians will get in front and beg you, please vote for me in this upcoming local election or whatever election it is. I am going to go to Washington to serve you. To serve you. They beg for your votes. You vote them in office, and what do? They make more money than you. Since when does a servant make more money? I never heard of this before. They go to Washington, they make more money than their masters, basically, than their bosses. We are their boss. They don't go to Washington to serve you. You can care less about you. It's all about them and their money. You mark my words. You haven't seen it in the past, and you won't see it in the future. No matter how difficult hard times are, you'll never see a politician having to sell one of his homes due to hard economic times. You'll never see that. And it'll be evident if Joe Biden gets in. Daryl Jones in the house. A house divided can't stand. And that's what they do. They play us against each other, Daryl. They truly are. They truly do. They make us believe we're enemies. Michael Silverman, you're right. Cubans don't like voting for socialism. They know what it is. Dutch Silver, help yourself learn about crypto. I'm trying, Dutch. I'm trying. Alex Crypto, you can say that about anything that is priced in useless dollars. Okay, I think I'm going on somebody else's conversation. Yeah, COVID 21-2 is what it'll be. Jessica Martinez in the house. Who else? Lord Humongous, free men don't have masters. I meant that the only way I can explain it. When you own your own home, right? And you hire a maid. You're basically their boss. Is it normal that the maid makes more money than you, the person that's hiring them? And that's what I meant. So it was an analogy. These politicians beg you for their vote. They're going to Washington to serve you. They get there, they don't serve you, and on top of that, they make more money than you, the boss, is what I meant to say. I would definitely support a full revote. In every state that has stopped counting and has done something illegal. I shouldn't force it upon the states who finished their counting, everything in a good timeline. It's amazing that state of California and New York, for that matter, were finished in hours that very evening, on the evening of November 3rd. Yet you have a few states that are a third of the size, and they're still counting? No, there's those states, full revote. Everybody gets to come in and vote all over again. But you'll never get that because the illegal freaking politicians that currently sit in those offices in those states, the judges that were put into place by the Clintons and the Obamas, they'll never vote for it. They'll never allow it. And yet they're never questioned. How could you judge on that ruling the way you did when the Constitution and the Bill of Rights says X, Y, and Z? They're never questioned. I don't think there's going to be a great reset when it comes to debt. Everybody in debt is a slave, and they love slaves. Yes, Wes, I've heard of Zilliqua. I heard of that. Yes, I have. I don't have any, though. Make sure you have gold, silver, and cryptos. JW. Yeah, when's the last time you were served by politicians? They don't serve you. They serve you a plate full of tyranny is what they serve you. Tyranny is what I meant to say. See, they're not even afraid of court orders anymore. You heard about Pennsylvania turning away the poll workers. We're turning away folks with court orders saying, hey, I'm allowed to come in this building. Well, we don't give a damn about no court order. So they're not even afraid anymore of the law. It's amazing. They're just not afraid because what? The true and just are no longer defended by force. You would think a couple of cops would have come in and said, no, they will come in. No, the cops were actually on the poll workers' side in Pennsylvania. This is what's scary. They wouldn't allow people in, observers in, even with a freaking court order. They were threatened with arrest, even with a court order. Those were the cops. Those are the local cops. Silver Cobra in the house. I am an American of English, Scottish, Irish, American, Indian, and German heritage. I voted for Trump twice in 2016 and 2020. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What happened is so unconstitutional. It is. And people are just going to sit and take it and wonder why. What happened? So anyway, folks, I am going to head out. I appreciate everybody's time. I'm going to grab some lunch, and I urge you all to get out. No, seriously, before you leave, I want you to do something today and tomorrow. Get out, enjoy the sun, try to relax, and just keep away from the freaking news for a little while. I'll be honest with you, I haven't turned on the news in a little bit. Renee Michael, thank you for being here. Brandon Summer, I always do that. Every time I say I'm going, There's a couple of new subscribers that I just feel compelled to say hello to because they made the effort to come and say hi to me. But anyway, just get out, enjoy the sun, do something. Don't sit home and think about your troubles. Go somewhere, do something, and enjoy the sunlight, folks. Have a